with everything that's going on right now, with all of this high tech, high efficiency, there's no time to communicate because we're so busy that human beings are going to yearn for connection. Life's a journey, not a destination. What's the one lesson that your dad taught you that changed your life? This Father's Day, we're diving into 3 universal dad lessons that'll make you unstoppable. So one of the things that my dad taught me early was that I should always do what I say I'm going to do. He would hold me accountable to that. If I was going to tell him that I was going to do something and I didn't do it, he was calling me out on it. And that stuck with me. And that's one of the biggest things that I remember my dad instilling in me, making sure that if I'm going to say I'm going to do something, then I need to do it. In 10 minutes, we're going to talk about 3 practical dad-inspired hacks to level up your mindset, business, and life. So, also on Father's Day, we're going to have a challenge. We want to make this weekend memorable. I'm fired up to share the kind of wisdom only dads deliver. So let's make this count. So discipline over motivation. Discipline trumps motivation. Then success comes. In a 2018 study from Journal of Personality shows habits formed through discipline outperform motivation-driven efforts. If you're disciplined and then you have motivation, that's going to equal success. But discipline has to come first. So one of the things that my dad did when I was growing up that showed me discipline was that no matter what it was, what Sunday it was, we always went to church to honor the Lord. It didn't matter if we were in another town, heck, in another country. It was always about making sure that we went to church on Sunday. It didn't matter if we didn't feel like it. It didn't matter if we were tired. It didn't matter if we just didn't want to go. That was one of the things that he did. He made sure that we always went, no matter what. That was one of the things that was instilled in me. And I'm glad because that's one of the things that I continue to do this day, if allowable, to make sure that myself and my family attend church every Sunday to honor the Lord. So that is a discipline. He exhibited discipline in that particular way to show that this was a important thing that we needed to do. And no matter what, we were going to find the reason to continue to go. It wasn't even a question. So one of the things I challenge you to, whether it's going to church every Sunday, or if it's working out, or if there is a particular thing that you want to accomplish and develop a discipline in, that you do it for 30 days. Just take one thing. You don't have to be an overachiever and try to do 2, 3, 4, and 5. I guess if you want to try it, you can. But I would just say, I challenge you to do one thing over and over again to build that consistency, because you're going to develop a discipline that's going to ultimately make you successful, because that's part of what drives success, being able to be disciplined and continuing to go through that process. Yes, you need motivation, but you need discipline first. So stick around. My dad's next lesson is about turning setbacks into something that's going to make you stronger and more successful. Be a man of your word. Why is that important? There's a 2021 study in the Harvard Business Review that shows leaders who admit errors are rated higher in trust in their teams. Be a man of your word. Be able to admit when you don't get it done. You should always follow through on what you say you're going to do. It builds character. But if you can't and you fall short for some reason, then admit it. Own it. You can always reach out to whoever you committed to and let them know that you couldn't do it because of this. Now, you can reattempt it. You can find a different avenue that you need to go through, but be a man of your word. So one of the challenges that I would say this week as a tip, honor every commitment this week that you can. No matter how small, follow through. Or if for some reason you can't do what you said you were going to do, then proactively communicate that you can't. You can always call somebody up and say, hey, I said I was going to do this. I am a man of my word, but for these reasons, I couldn't get it done. Own it. Taking ownership for your actions is a valuable lesson in itself, but try it. Just try honoring your commitment. Don't give in to whatever the excuse is on why you can't do it. But if there's a legitimate reason why you can't, then tell that person that I couldn't get it done. Mistakes drive comebacks, but keeping your word builds legacy. So the last thing I want to talk about is relationships, their currency. Relationships outweigh money, family and friends in business. That's what's important. Invest in people. One of the things that I learned from my dad was his loyalty to his family. It was overly apparent to me that if family needed something, he was there for his family. And that was one of the things that I really admired because I spent a lot of time with his family and I just watched how that was instilled in him from his father, which is now instilled in me. Because if your family needed something, he was always there. He would do whatever it took to make sure that he could help his family. And that was really important to me. And I think for that very reason, that's one of the reasons why now that I have to take care of my dad, who has Alzheimer's, that I understand that that is something that, yes, can be difficult at times, and yes, can be hard, but he's family. And that's something that he instilled in me. So relationships are important. We talked about that. We want to make sure that we are continuing to relate to people, especially in this day and age of technology and AI, where human interaction is just at an all-time low, in my opinion, because it's easier to text somebody, send them an email. But one of the things I challenge you to do this week is to call 3 people, 3 contacts, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, whether it's somebody you just met, somebody you go to church with, a business prospect, a client. Call 3 people. Have a meaningful conversation with them. And then once you do that, follow up with them monthly. There's that discipline. Continue to build that relationship and see where that investment in people yields you. Because I think one of the most important things being a human being is being able to interact with other people. And with everything that's going on right now, with all of this high tech, high efficiency, there's no time to communicate because we're so busy that human beings are going to yearn for connection. So be that person to someone because it's not only going to be good for them, it's going to be good for you. So let's recap. Discipline over motivation. Discipline needs to come first. Be a man of your word and focus on relationships because that's what's important. Life's a journey, not a destination. If you found this episode helpful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't just text it to them. Call and tell them about it. I always encourage you to subscribe. And if you have a moment, rate the show. I'd really love to hear what you also have to say. So leave a comment, start a conversation. You can find us on YouTube at Hey Charles Biz. We're Hey Charles on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Hey Charles 77 on Instagram and TikTok. And Charles Ernst on LinkedIn. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers.